Welcome back to part 4 of this series following Real Madrid's magnificent success in Europe in recent times. Between 2014 and 2018, Real Madrid made history by winning 4 out of 5 Champions League tournaments, and this is the story of how they did just that. Despite the Barca team of just before that era being hailed as one of the greatest ever, Real Madrid made even their European Cup win rate look like a slow one. Ronaldo and Messi clashed domestically and on the European stage, but ultimately, over this period, Los Blancos were the obvious kings of Europe, as they would say they always have been. So, how did Real go about winning their 4th trophy in 5 years and their 3rd title on the bounce?
Superstars everywhere you look, in a stadium fit for any occasion. This is the Champions League at its very, very best.
Well, they started in pot 1, of course. As champions, Real Madrid were first seeds for the group stage draw, and they would face Borussia Dortmund, a familiar foe, Tottenham Hotspur and APOEL of Cyprus. Despite a home draw and an away defeat to Spurs, Real Madrid defeated both APOEL and Dortmund twice to finish in 2nd place behind the Premier League side. The only negative of this might mean a more difficult draw in the next round, but Real Madrid didn't tend to mind that sort of thing. Cristiano Ronaldo remarkably scored in each and every single group game that Madrid played, and they were ready for the knockout stages. The likes of Bayern, Barcelona and 5 Premier League teams went into the hat for the round of 16, but the challenge Real Madrid would be up against came in the form of PSG, who had won their group of course, scoring goals for fun and smashing the likes of Bayern, Anderlecht and Celtic at home. A formidable front 3 of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe and Edinson Cavani were on fire for the French side. In the end, it didn't matter though. Ronaldo would outshine them all. He scored in both legs, and Brazilians Marcelo and Casemiro also made their mark. A 3-1 home win for Madrid didn't quite seal the deal, but a 2-1 away win in the second leg did. They would face another familiar rival, Juventus, in the quarterfinals. Real Madrid would finish 3rd in the league that year, 17 points off winners FC Barcelona. They lost 6 and drew 10 in La Liga, which was pretty poor form for a club of such stature, and they were stunned in the Copa del Rey as well. They lost the 2-legged tie in the quarterfinals to relative minnows Leganés. Perhaps the European Cup would save their season once more. Madrid had to face heavy competition if they were to win this title though. Bayern Munich and Liverpool won their quarter-final ties, and Roma pulled off a shock comeback to knock out Barcelona. 2 goals from Ronaldo and another from Marcelo announced the statement victory for Real in Turin. They had gone to Italy and won 3-0 away in the first leg. They were surely through to the next round. Well, yes, in the end, but in a bizarre second leg, Juventus struck after just 2 minutes and played amazingly well at the Bernabeu. They were looking for their revenge for the final in Cardiff. Step up the main man. In heartbreaking fashion for the Italians, Ronaldo scored a 98th minute stoppage time penalty to help Madrid scrape through to the semis after what could have been a much easier task and what could have been a huge embarrassment. They were almost on the receiving end of a historical comeback themselves, but their blushes were spared by CR7. In the semi-finals, Brazilian fullback Marcelo would score for a 3rd consecutive knockout round. The tricky Brazilian, who is now one of just 13 players on the planet to win a Champions League and a Copa Libertadores, was in phenomenal form. Munich had taken the lead in that game, but Real took a 2-1 away victory on the night. At home, they finished the job. Just about. A Benzema brace meant the game finished 2-2 and Bayern were close, but Madrid had found a way to do it once again. Despite their suffering league form in Europe, they just knew how to turn it on. So Real had defeated Bayern, Juventus and PSG on their road to the final in Kiev. Titans of Germany, Italy and France all left in their wake just like so. It's what Madrid do. In the final, they'd have to do it again, this time against some titans of the Premier League, Liverpool Football Club. The Reds were in inspired form both domestically and in Europe, winning games at an almost weekly rate alongside Manchester City. They had defeated City in the quarterfinals of the tournament by blowing them away at Anfield, and they did the same to Roma in the semis. And in the last 16, they didn't even need to. That's because they had already defeated Porto 5-0 in the first leg away from home, with the likes of Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino in the form of their lives. Madrid had to take caution. But this is Madrid. Who could doubt them? The 2018 final in Ukraine was a complete stalemate for about 50 minutes. The most notable event in that time was an injury to Mohamed Salah, who was rolled to the floor cutely by Sergio Ramos of Real. The Egyptian was in a world of pain and had to be substituted off. On 50 minutes then, the true madness began. Liverpool goalkeeper Loris Karius rolled the ball to the feet of Karim Benzema, who rolled the ball gratefully back into an empty net. Mane quickly equalised with a header for the Reds, but then something magic happened. Gareth Bale did this. It's a goal worthy of winning any final. And minutes later, Bale added a third to completely kill the game. That one was another hideous Karius error, but Madrid didn't mind. They were champions yet again, and it was Gareth Bale with the moment of magic. Just like that, Madrid had won 4 in 5, in the blink of an eye, 3 in a row. They were the best team in Europe at the time. Well, who cares? Maybe they weren't, but they had the trophies to show for it. They weren't even the best team domestically in Spain, but they won't mind, and they are in the history books as the best team in the history of European competition. The Champions League is their stage, and they show it year after year. The numbers and trophies don't lie. So let us know in the comments below where you think this Cristiano Ronaldo-led Real Madrid team ranks amongst the all-time greats in football history. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.